Today on Fresh Vintage Garage, we have the ultimate half-inch cordless beater impact challenge. And while other YouTube channels are out here doing stuff like this, we went out and special ordered these so that we can run these guys through the ringer so you don't have to. Let's get started. So while I was out shopping on Temu or however they pronounce it, I came across a cordless impact and a cordless ratchet. If you haven't seen our ratchet video, definitely check it out. We'll leave it at the end of the video you're watching now. But also at the same time, I found this JAVN cordless impact. This is a half-inch drive. And so we started asking ourselves, could we put together a half-inch like ultimate beater impact or a budget, impact video. So this is what we have, and this is what showed up from Temu. I was in a box, although the box didn't look very good, to be honest. There is a charger in here, and then it came with, I don't have it here with me, but it came with a 19mm socket. I'm going to set this on the ground. This is contestant 1. It is a 4 amp hour, 20 volt. And contestant 2 is AOBIN or however they pronounce it. But this one comes in a nice case here. There are plastic clasps here, but overall it's not a bad little unit. Has quite a bit of stuff in here. Comes with sockets, so if you don't have sockets, it's not a bad way to go. And let me just throw the battery on this. Same thing as the JAVN. Got a 4 amp hour battery. And something funny, let me just show you this real quick. I'm assuming these came out of the same factory-ish, if I can get this off of here, because the JAVN battery fits on here no problem and runs it. So probably the same thing, but let me grab the third one here. Let me just put these back together. So we have the right batteries back on the right impacts, and let me grab the third one here. This is the Eastvolt. We got such a good deal on this. You won't find the lightning deal that we got, I promise. But great little unit, and it is only 2 amp hour battery. It is 20 volts, but when I saw this thing for the price I paid for it, I was like, I had to buy this thing and include it. So these are our 3 contestants right here, and we're going to go through a multitude of tests that we have lined up for you. We have everything from drop tests to, we're gonna run these in while other YouTube channels are using half inch with a 3/4 inch head. We went out and special ordered 3/4 inch with a 1 1/8 inch head. I'm not kidding. So we're gonna run these guys through the ringer, and let's get started with our first test now. So for test 1, we are here with my good friend Tom's van. Tom, thanks very much for being here, man.
Hey, no problem, man.
He's letting us the guinea pig, use his van. So if you haven't ever heard of his channel, switch to Linux. His logo is right here. Definitely check him out. You need some Linux in your life, and this channel is just the place to go for it.
Absolutely.
So we have a 2019 Ram ProMaster 2500, and we're literally going to do like a battery test, endurance test, and torque test all at the same time. We've borrowed the jack, and you can see we have a scissor jack. We have it under here, and all I'm going to do is, these guys are all in high. The batteries are all charged, so I'll show you that one to start with. Is 4 bars, and then we're just going to hit the button here, and we're going to see how fast. We're going to put a stopwatch in the screen over here and show how fast it takes, how long it takes for this to actually get off the ground where I can spin the wheel. So we have AOBIN or however you say it, but we're just going to go right into it here. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Not too bad, all things considered. And so we'll drop this down, and then we'll jump right into the JAVN unit here. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. There we go. And let's do a quick battery check. Still have 4 bars, and this thing's not too hot. So we'll drop this down, and then we'll do the Eastvolt next. Just some personal commentary. This thing doesn't feel that powerful in my hand compared to those two, but we're gonna give it a try here. So we're gonna go right into it here. So 3, 2, 1. There we go. Let's check in on that battery. I can't actually see it at all.
It's still at 3.
Still at 3, okay. It's actually not too, it's really, like this is warm, which makes sense because of the amount of impacting, but I mean, overall, they did pretty well. The battery was definitely dropped on this one. Let's see if it regenerated at all.
It's still at 3.
It's still a 3, okay. So, Eoben, JAVN, Eastvolt, not too bad so far. But let's move on to test 2 right now. So we are here at our local pick and save, and we have the Eastvolt, the JAVN, and the Eoben or Oben or however you say it. And we've heard stories of these lug studs being aluminum and they only take 80 foot-pounds of torque. I've also heard stories of people going to like your local tire lube and express place and they put 200 to 300 foot-pounds of air impact on these things and actually breaking the studs. I don't think we have that kind of torque here, but we're at Pick and Save. We're doing other stuff at Pick and Save. So what we're going to do is we're just going to rattle on one lug nut and lug stud for 30 seconds and see what happens. I figured 30 seconds should probably be enough. And I'm just going to set my watch here and we'll just rattle on this for 30 seconds and we'll speed this up so you don't have to wait all 30 seconds. But we're going to start with the Eoben here. And here we go. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, now that I'm officially deaf, nothing there. So I'm gonna just switch the socket over. We'll jump right into the JAVN here. And so here we go, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And that socket's getting very hot, folks. We'll just go ahead and round 3, quick note, this is a 2 amp hour. Those guys are 4 amp hour. I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference, but I'm gonna try this here and 3, 2, 1. Okay, so none of them broke this free. I was kind of wondering how much torque these things had, but at the end of the day, it's good to know that they both can, or all 3 of them can actually run that long. So we found ourselves a 2002 BMW 325, and the harmonic balancer bolt here is a 22 millimeter. We're going to start with what I feel is the weakest of the 3, the Eastvolt, and we're just going to rattle on this and see what happens, see if we can get it to break free. Okay, I would say that's sufficiently long enough. Let's jump up to the Eoben, see what happens here. I had hopes. It's getting very warm. I had hopes. I thought I saw it turning, but this guy of all things seems to be the torque champion so far. So we're going to give that a try with that other socket because that's getting very warm. Let's give this a shot here. I'm going to hit it the other way, see if maybe that'll make a difference. Go backwards. Yep. Well, I guess it's impacts 0, harmonic balancer bolt 1. So let's go see what else we can find. So we have another test engine here, and this time we're going to use the Eastvolt, see if it can loosen up the harmonic balancer here. I'll try tightening it for a second. So I will make note, you can see the larger hexagon in here. Some of these things, they need an actual special tool to hold this stationary to break that nut free. I don't think we have that problem here per se, but that is a note I will make, not trying to cop for these things, but let me grab the JAVN and see if I can break it free. Let me hit this harmonic balancer here and see what happens. Okay, so harmonic balancers are winning today. Okay, so we're here at nondescript engine number 3, which has some side commentary. Why is this probably resellable engine sitting out where, you know, rain can get into it, but whatever. We're going to give this a try, 19 millimeter here. Hey, success. And you see how it stopped. Let me do that again. So it doesn't just keep on running. So that's kind of a nice feature, smart feature. So wrapping up the pick and save portion of the video here, we definitely put a whooping on these things. I'm honestly a little surprised at how many of the harmonic balancer bolts they didn't break free, but that's exactly why we did this, because you don't know unless you try. Checking in on the batteries, this guy here, the Eoben, is at 3 of 4. The JAVN is at 4 of 4, and this guy is actually at the Eastvolt is 2 of 3 battery bars. So we're going to jump into our next test. Let's go do that right now. So for our next test here, you've seen this really common on YouTube. People go out and they find a 1/2 inch lag bolt with a 3/4 inch head. We actually went out and said, what if we could find 3/4 inch lag bolts? I kid you not, we went out and custom bought these, and they have an 1 1/8 head. So we ordered some sockets off of Amazon, and that's what these three are up against, so these guys right here. So to start with, we're going to drill a few pilot holes just to make sure that these go in straight. We're not drilling like an 1 diameter hole or anything, but we're going to drill that right now. And again, we're not trying to help these things. We are just trying to make sure those go in straight. So we're going to jump right into it with the Eastvolt, and I have no idea what's going to happen here. I'm kind of wondering if one of these catches on fire, but we're going to find out right now. There we go. We'll go a little bit more. Wow, okay. And just a quick note, these were all charged. This is showing, let me actually show you the charge here. You can't really see it in the sun here, but it has 2 bars now, which makes sense. This is only a 2 amp hour battery. These guys are both 4 amp hours, but super impressed that actually ran that in there all the way. I'm going to run it back out, and then we'll jump right into the IOBIN here. There we go. That's pretty warm. All right, we will just jump right into the IOBIN here. And just to confirm, these are on high power. The battery is fully charged, so we made sure everything is topped up as much as possible. Oops. Wow, look at that. Whoops, that's driving it down into the wood. There we go. Wow, that's very impressive. It definitely felt like this guy had more oomph than the Eastvolt. And let's check the battery here. I am down to 3 bars, which that makes sense because that's a lot of torque we just put out. And let's roll right into the JAVN. I actually think, I'm not trying to cheat here or nothing, I promise. I see the wood starting to split here, so I'm going to move this down here further just to get away from the actual cracks in the wood. There we go. And same thing, this is on is fully charged, and it's on max power. It just split the wood, folks. Look at the end of this thing. It literally cracked the 4x4. So I'm not even going to go anymore. But so super impressed so far. Let's check the battery. We still have 4 bars on the battery. It's amazing. And seems fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to adjust the 4x4, and we're going to do an endurance test. We're literally just going to go 1, 2, 3 with all 3 of these big guys and just run them in and see what kind of battery I have left after we run them in and out. So we'll get set up for that. We'll be right back. So the second part of this, we're literally just going to run all 3 of these in to see how long this thing lasts. And quick note, the Eastvolt is on power 3, and it has 2 bars of battery. I don't know how well you can see it on camera there, but there are 2 bars. So we're just going to go right into it and just 1, 2, 3 and see how much juice this thing has left. Okay, I'm going to stop there because it just split the wood. So let me back these out and we'll show you where the battery's at now. There we go. Honestly, I felt like this thing was kind of struggling a little bit. Let's check the battery. Yeah, we're definitely at 1 bar, which I'm not surprised to see. So it's still running. It's still on power 3, but I'm curious to see what the IOBIN and the JAVN do, because this feels like it was just running out of steam. It's not. It's actually not that hot. I thought it would be hotter, but so I'm a little surprised the Eastvolt didn't catch on fire, to be honest. But same thing. We have shifted the 4x4 here, drilled some pilot holes, and we're just going to go right into it with the IOBIN here. Okay, let's check the battery. Battery's at 3 bars, so pretty impressive. Let me pop these out of here. We'll see where the battery's at once we get done. By the time we get to that third lag bolt, we are effectively splitting the wood. And we're at 3 bars, so pretty impressive to see that. Let us flip the wood, and we're going to jump right into the JAVN here. All right, same thing with the JAVN here. These things are getting pretty warm, but we're just going to go right into it here. So we're going to stop there simply because the wood's literally cracking and we don't want to hit the table here. But checking in on the battery, I'm shocked to see it still has 4 bars. It kind of makes me a little suspect, to be honest, but let me pull these out of here and we'll see if that drops at all. There we go. And checking that battery, still 4 bars, so I'm kind of suspect by that, but that's also pretty impressive considering this is the same size battery as the WHOOPIN here. And let's see if that recovered at all. No, it's still showing 3 bars. Eastvolt, probably still at 1. It might have got back up to 2. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it's still showing 1 bar, which isn't surprising. This is literally half the size of these 2 batteries. So final test here, real simple one. You're working on a car. Whoops, you drop it. Let's see if it works. And I'm actually not surprised to see that battery fell off of there. Seems to work fine. So let's go into our next contestant here. Whoops, dropped on the ground. Let's see what happens. Seems to be fine. And just some side commentary. All of these do say that they are drop tested. So we're going to actually drop test them in real life because this is the real world. And if you do that, you hope that it works fine after you drop it. All right, so you've seen the video. The question is, which one do you buy? I'll leave that up to you. We'll leave the links for all of these in the description of the video you're watching right now. If you want my 2 cents, if you're looking for overall bang for your buck, this is a great unit. I will say it has a 2 amp hour battery, but the Eastvolt does come with this nice case. The regular price is good. The lightning sale that you won't get, so to speak, was phenomenal on this guy. This one is also from Amazon. This one's from Amazon. And WHOOPIN, this was a little bit more expensive than this guy, but again, comes with a case. And this actually comes with the sockets inside, so that was really nice. I'm kind of partial to this guy, but honestly, this bag just ain't cutting it. And the fact that this is from Temu, that you might not get the same exact quality control unit 6 months, a year from now. Whereas these are going to be pretty consistent with what you're buying from Amazon, and you have the company of Amazon to work with should you have a problem here. But like I said, we'll leave the links for all 3 of these in the description of the video you're watching now. And if you haven't seen our cordless ratchet video, it's kind of the other half of it. It's what started this, to be honest, where we actually ran the cordless ratchets through the ringer, and we ran a bunch of these in and out of the 4x4 here. Definitely check that out. You'll see it on the screen. But with that, if you like scan tools, if you like shop equipment, if you like keeping your cars on the road and certified fresh, Fresh Finish Garage is your channel. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.